Okay, starting turn number 8 for the Confederates. Pretty bleak for them. Look at how much infantry is stacked up. It's driving down their throats. More coming down the pike here. That's an entire regiment. That's 2 regiments worth of infantry, artillery, cavalry. But on the bright side, there's not a 3rd crossing point to have to deal with. So I can try to contain them here where there were already fortifications. So that's good. All right, let's put some time on the clock and let's get moving. Cavalry. Move this guy. Cavalry move. He moves faster, but he doesn't burn as many points, but he moves faster if he just does his 7. So we're going to flip him up here 7. 3rd Confederate Cavalry. I got to move my engineers, so we'll assume that they move down and start throwing some more entrenchments up here. They're moving behind the lines, so we're going to move them down. I'm going to call it 4 and flip up another entrenchment. So we're going to call that 4 and 15 and move them down in this area. Do I need these cavalry over here? They're really not doing any good there. All the cavalry, I could be doing some major screw-ups in the Union left, maybe. There's plenty of infantry here. I'm moving this cavalry unit back 7. It's not in the face of the enemy, even though they're on the other side of the river. They really don't threaten each other. So, yeah. Oh yeah, I want you to move these infantry guys into position now. Do I want the cavalry to move at this point? No, I need something to plug the gap here, really, in case they do force the crossing. Or they force the crossing down there. All right, I think the Confederates don't have much left to do as far as their turn, so we're going to call that the end of turn 8 for the Confederates, and we're going to move 15. 15 is really over here in the IOU. This all gets dropped down to 0. Got a white cloth, so it looks a little bit better this time. More credible. Always trying to do better things for the viewers. Make your experience better every time. Okay, turn 8 for the Union. Here we go. There's really nothing to do here except move this artillery up, which they can do. That's 4.5. Might as well call that 5. They can move up 5. So we're going to put these guys at this edge of the crossing point. And recall, we can't affect any captures during the movement into contact phase. Let's double check the rule for this phase of the game. Advance and fire. Screen is removed. Players having the initiative, blah, blah, blah. Game continues until turn is complete, which leaves at least 5 pieces, all belonging to the same side, within range of hostile pieces. No captures can be made during the advance and fire. So, am I within range of hostile pieces? We're assuming the river is only 1 wide, even though it looks a little bit wider here. So I'm going to say yes. He's within 2 of the infantry. He's within 3 of the within range of the hostile pieces. That's piece number 1 within range of the hostile pieces. Oh yeah, that was how many? I said I was going to count that as 5. So we got 5 already. Plus our 50 makes us 55 minus 5. That takes us down to 50. This guy is going to make it to the crossing point and begin the crossing process because he can move forward directly 4. So he is in the middle of the river. Okay, so we have 2 units in range now. It took him 2. We're going to give it 3 there to get him into the middle of the river. So we can start making those rolls next time. So that's 47. I'm going to get 2 more units in contact here. Okay. The 15th Infantry Light Battery is over here. I think we got to get him within range. Yes. We're just going to call this a 1-inch move here. Takes down to 46. So that's piece number 4 in range. So you can't move into a space covered by enemy fire. How hard do we need to think about this? All right, we're going to pause the game here. So we have 5 minutes on the timer. We need to make a novice player check here on movement. So maneuver. So the maneuver move, a single piece cannot pass over an unoccupied square covered by hostile troops. To state this another way, all squares within the zone of fire of hostile pieces, whether such pieces are neutralized or not, necessitate. You got to make a regular move to move over the square. So that move into the river there, that actually cost 2 additional points because it would have been 3 to make that move. So let's make this on-the-spot correction here. So -2, that's going to be 44. I can move. Did I move that artillery straight ahead? I could move him straight ahead and on the diagonal to get into range. So straight ahead would have been 1, on the diagonal would have been 5. So I need to say IOU 5 off of that. So it's 39. So that accounts for their movement. Again, this guy moved on the diagonal, so instead of charging him 1, I should have charged him 5. So I owe 4 more for that move. So that takes us to 35. Okay, moving this back up to 5 minutes on the clock. So we're down to 35 points. I want to get this guy to the crossing point, which is actually here. This crossing point, if you recall, is at the mouth of Soap Creek, so here. Although in actuality, in the real history, a half mile up from Soap Creek, which would be about 6 inches, over here is a Cherokee fish dam that some infantry guys managed to get across. And then the same thing down here at Powers Ferry. Some infantry guys actually took off all their clothes and waded across down here at Powers Ferry. Interesting story. All right. Captured some Confederate prisoners. There's some dispute about how many made it back. They allegedly captured like 12, but got 4. But basically, they were wearing just their cartridge belts and their rifles, and were completely naked. Took the Confederates on the far side of the shore by surprise. It's going to be in my historic write-up for this, but yeah, okay. I'm spending a lot of time here talking for no good reason. How do I get this guy up? I got to get these cavalry out of the way. So I need to move them, what, 3 inches maybe? 3 on the oblique, and then directly in 1 at a regular move, regular infantry move, putting him into contact. So contact, 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 contact. We got enough to get out of this phase finally. What did I say? So move the cavalry up 3, moved him 2 plus 3, so that's 5 and 3 is 8. 8 more off of 35 leaves me down to 27. Yeah, I can move these guys on the diagonal, costing 5 points per, and move them 3. Artillery oblique 4. I could potentially burn 20 points of my 27. I'm not sure that I want to do that, but anything to help the game move along. So yeah, I'll move these guys up, basically up here. And that is Battery D. And again, that last, all that entire move was a valid artillery move on the diagonal. So 20 points. Leave me with 7. And the rest of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll just move each of these 1 inch. I'll move this guy up 2. So he's going to move straight forward 2. I'll move these guys 1 inch. So this guy moves up 1 inch. This guy moves up 1 inch. This guy moves up 1 inch. these are maneuver moves, so it's fine to move like that and that. And that exhausts all 7 points, taking me down to 0. I forgot to put my IOU over there, so he gives the Confederates the 3 from the IOU bucket. He exhausted everything during that move, taking him down to 0. And yeah, I guess that would have been the Union move for turn 8. And we're running out of time. I think the buzzer is about to go off.